I think this could be the single best upgrade you can make to your two-wheel drive Slash. So you may be wondering, what upgrade am I talking about then? Well, I'm talking about the low center of gravity chassis kit. Now, the two-wheel drive Traxxas Slash has been around forever, but it's always faced a very annoying issue. And with the stock chassis, this thing loves to topple over. I just find the center of gravity is just a little bit too high on the stock chassis, and you find yourself having to slow right down when it comes to turns because you just don't want it to topple over. Now, when I done my initial review on the Traxxas Slash two-wheel drive, it was definitely noticeable when it comes to the handling, and it was just a bit annoying. Now, this is an issue I've never faced with the Armour Centon because naturally that thing does sit a little bit lower, and I think it does handle better straight out the box. That was when I started searching around for an upgrade for my Traxxas Slash, and I come across the low CG kit. And from what I've seen, this makes a massive improvement to the handling of this truck. Now, another thing that I noticed when I took the Slash out for the first time was it did feel a little bit underpowered, and it is geared quite low out the box, but it is a beginner truck. So this was to be expected, but I very quickly did a brushless upgrade. Now, I didn't want to put any crazy power through this, which is why I went for a fairly mild brushless system. I then took the truck out again and it performed great, but it still had that handling issue. Now, mods like this can be quite controversial because a lot of people will say this is how it should have come straight out the box. And you know what? I think I have to agree because I've now got a spare chassis sitting doing nothing. Now, I didn't have to pay for my Traxxas Slash. This was sent to me to review on the channel, but if I had have paid for it, well, I think I'd be a little bit annoyed. Now, you may be wondering, is this a difficult conversion to do? Now, to convert this over is quite a simple process, but if you were an absolute beginner, I think you may find it a little bit challenging. And that is because the instruction manual really isn't that good. Now, I would have preferred if this thing had a step-by-step instruction manual instead of an exploded diagram. Now, the overall process was quite simple. As you can see here, everything went together nicely, and I did also take the opportunity to change the steering servo, and I've now fitted a KST brushless servo. Now, these things are great. Yes, they're a little bit more pricey, but they always perform well. And I've already reviewed KST servos loads of times on my channel, and I will leave some links down below. So once you've done all of that, this is the outcome. And here's a quick comparison for you. This is the stock chassis, and this is the new upgraded low CG chassis. Now, the stock Traxxas transmitter is absolutely fine, but it's just such low quality. I've now switched to one of these new Dumbo RC units. These things are really cool, and I will leave a link down below if you want to check these out on Banggood. Now, these things are just as good as the Dumbo RC X4 and the X6, but as you can see, they're a lot smaller. So I think it's time we see how this thing performs. I'm going to be running it on a 2S LiPo today, so let's see if there's any improvement when it comes to handling. Now, the servo upgrade is pretty impressive. That has made a huge difference to the steering. Now, before I found myself having to slow right down just to be able to turn, whereas now I can just sort of flick the steering. Whoa! Yeah, it does feel a lot better. And I think this is the way it should have come straight out the box, because the handling is literally like twice as good as it was before. Yeah, it really doesn't want to topple over now. I think let's get this thing off road. Let's see how it performs when we take it on the dirt. So quick off-road test then. Now, handling so much better compared to the stock chassis, and again the steering is so much better, handles really well now, and these trucks are so cool. They're so much fun off-road anyway. Yeah, great little upgrade, and for the price I really don't think you can go wrong. It's transformed the truck. What an epic little machine. So there we go then, guys. That was the Traxxas Slash two-wheel drive with its brand new low center of gravity chassis kit. What a huge improvement when it comes to performance, and as you see, it really doesn't want to topple over. And this is great now because this does feel much more usable than it did with the stock chassis. And I think I do have to agree with a lot of people out there, this is the way this truck should have come straight out the box. Now I'm interested to hear from you guys. If you own one of these, do you run the stock chassis or do you run the low CG chassis? And I think this has to be one of the best RC upgrades I've ever made because it's made such a huge impact to the performance of the truck. Now in the UK, this upgrade costs about £35. I'll stick the dollars conversion on the screen as well. And for the price, well, I think it's worth every penny. Now, if you're in the UK and you're interested in one of these conversion kits, I will leave a link down below so you can head over to Rochester RC, you can pick one of these up and you can do this mod yourself. And also, if you want to pick up the Traxxas Slash, I'll also leave a link down below for that. And if you use code beyondRC, you will get 5% off your entire order and you'll also get free shipping. So what a couple of fantastic little upgrades today on my Traxxas Slash. I think I'm pretty much done. I may change out the wheels and tyres because I don't really like the performance of those out the box either. But apart from that, I think I'm pretty much done with this truck. Now the only other thing I've done to this is fit some RPM upgrades, but apart from that, I'm absolutely in love with this truck. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed seeing this thing in action, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've just hit 25,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane, and I would love to get to 30,000 by the end of the year. So hit that subscribe button and help me make that happen. Cheers for watching, see you on the next one. Take care.